You YouTubers, it is me, Henry. I know I've been off for a while, but I'm coming to you today with a deck profile of Gearia Karakuri. And I'm really excited about this deck because it's one of my favorites. And the reason for that is because of all the formats that have occurred, it still keeps up with all of the meta decks. And you can side cards in that don't really affect this deck that just kill the meta decks. And the sad thing is, though, I am missing 3 cards to this deck. 2 of them are, well, all 3 of them are Karakuri cards. 2 of them are in the main deck, and 1 is in the extra deck. But I'm still going to show you because I'm too excited. I'm actually finishing this deck up. And I know I don't have all the hollows, but I don't really care, so I'm going to get right into it. 3 Gearia Armor. Of course, you have to run 3. It's your standard searcher. This plus Birdman is great. This plus Accelerator is great. Just fantastic card. Speaking of Accelerator, 3 Accelerator. You abuse Accelerator to the max in this deck. You synchro with Accelerator, like to pull out Scrap Dragon, Stardust, Leo. You will get his effect when he's sent from the field to the grave, but if you pull out a Karakuri monster or Black Rose, you will not because it misses timing. But it's still a great card. It has to be run at 3. 2 Arsenal. In Pure, you would be running 3, but in this, 3 gets a bit cloggy. And since you can be running better things than 3 of these, you only need to run 2. Now, since the structure deck came out, I've been testing this card, and it's worked very, very well, because there is a 2-turn OTK with it, which I will show you at the end of the video, and it's 1 Gearia Augur. Now, you guys might be saying, why would you run that? You can't attack the turn you use it. You can't special summon other monsters than Machine. But, guys, the only monsters you special summon or summon primarily is Machine. And I said it was a 2-turn OTK. And it's great for when there's lulls in the game. You top deck this, play it, get an Accelerator, go for Gearia X, and just you take control from there. That's it for the 4s of the Gearias. Onto the 3s. 3 MK2s. And then, this great card. You also abuse the heck out of this card. 1 Anno. Anno is great in this deck because you can tribute it, get your Karakuri tuners back, or get other Gearia monsters. Now, onto the Karakuris. 1 Specialist. I am missing Specialist, so this is my proxy for Specialist. A backwards card and a piece of paper. It's just a great level 3, changes a position of a monster on the field, and I have a combo that works well that I can show you after this, so that's 2 combos I'll be showing you. Next, 2 Watchdogs. Just a great level 4 tuner. What I like to do is I'll go Birdman into Burie, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and then into Burie again, and then into, I like to call him Burrito, and then I'll use Burrito to summon this in attack position, no, in defense. Then I use Burie to change to attack. I get the draw effect, and then I attack into the monster. I will take damage, but all of my other Karakuris gain 800, plus this cannot be destroyed by battle when it's in attack position. So you still have it as a monster, and your other Karakuris gain 800, so it'll probably be game even if your opponent has a monster. But yeah, those are the 2 I'm missing in the main deck. 1 Specialist and 1 Watchdog. Last for the, well, not last for the tuners, but last of the tuners that you will primarily be using to synchro. 1 Birdman. Birdman is great with Accelerator. I just gotta put it like that. Summon Accelerator, bounce Accelerator back, special summon Accelerator again, and synchro. Now for the non-machine monsters, 2 Effect Veiler. I honestly love Effect Veiler in this deck, and it's just a great card. I like this better in the main deck other than Breakthrough Skill, because if you need to, you can set it as a monster or keep it in your hand for a hand trap. And it goes very well with a trap I run called Mind Crush. And then to finish off the monsters, 1 Thunder King Ryo. Now you guys might wonder, doesn't that stop your adding to hand? And no, it really doesn't, because your opponent goes through resources to get rid of it. That's 20 monsters. On to spells, I only run 6 spells. 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, no back row, deck doesn't like back row. 1 Mind Control, because you can take your opponent's monsters and synchro with them. Soul Charge, turning into a staple in my mind, and then the staple Book of Moon. You don't really need Dark Hole in this deck, if you ask me. So yeah, that's it for spells. On to traps. This deck is pretty trap heavy, even though it runs Trap Stun. So yeah. 1 Gearia Gear, must be run. Great card, great card. 2 Mind Crush, because all decks pretty much add to hand. There's not one deck that doesn't. And if it doesn't add to hand, it's not really a good deck. 2 Fiendish Chain. I need to pick up another secret. This is not secret. I need that to be secret. But yeah, 2 Fiendish Chains because you can stop attacks and negate effects. And then Trap Stuns for when you're making your OTK pushes. Doesn't really affect you because all your traps you will normally activate on your opponent's turn. Or you can activate them before you use Trap Stun. 1/7 Tools, my favorite trap in the game, honestly. I just like it. It negates a trap for 1,000. I like it better than Wiretap because my opponent can't reuse the trap later in the duel that they got back to their deck. 2-Dimensional Prison. I was originally thinking Mirror Force, but since a lot of decks have floaters and graveyard effects, I went with these instead. Now for the one-ofs. 1 Call of the Haunted, because this plus armor equals shenanigans. Solemn Warning, Bottomless, and Compulse. That's it for the main deck. Just give me a sec here. Alright, on to the extra deck. Sorry guys, I just had to make sure my computer was still working, because sometimes it glitches out. 2 Gearia. This is the 3rd and final card I am missing. I need another one of these, but I can pick it up this week, which is good, because one of my friends has it. Don't need 3. I've seen a lot of decks that run 3, but I personally don't think you need 3 because it takes up vital extra deck space. 1, like I said, I like to call him Burrito because it's burrito, but I call him Burrito. Like you go to Chipotle, get a burrito. Hee hee hee. So yeah, he's good. You get the draw and you get a summon. Plus he's a 28 beater. 1 Leo. I make Leo by going this and a level 3 tuner. I just like the Leo because I know Burning Abyss has a hard time getting over this. So 1 Scrap Dragon because it's Diamond Dyer in Synchro form and it's great. Honestly, I really like it. Stardust for when you're making big pushes and you want to protect your monsters. Black Rose for when you want to nuke the field. Finally got one. I'm so happy. On to Xyzes. 2 Giganexes. Don't need 3. Only really need 2 because 2 is perfect. And then 1 Excaton. Correction. The 3 staples that I believe are now staples in the extra deck are Excaton, Silent Honor, and Castel. Excaton and Castel I am borrowing from my friends. His YouTube channel, I believe, is Napoleon on a T-Rex. He's a good friend. Next, 1 Diamond Dire Wolf, because you can pop stuff with it. Great card for when you want to get rid of stuff. And then the 1 rank 3 I run is a Lu card for back row. And then to finish up the extra deck, I run 1 Big Eye in case I want to overlay with these 2 or Black Rose in case Black Rose effect gets negated somehow. So yeah, that's it for the extra deck. I really like my extra deck. It's very versatile. And onto the side deck. The side deck so good in my mind if you ask me. Can handle so many decks. 2 Breakthroughs. I side Breakthrough in instead of Effect Veiler if I'm playing, say, like Shadal's or just stuff like that, because you can play it to stop Winda on your turn instead of Effect Veiler where it's only on their turn. So that's why I would side this in. I also sided in against Fire Fists. I believe Fire Fist will see more action now that Wolfmark's at 3, or still at 3 I should say, because the new bundles came out. 2 Chain Disappearance for Burning Abyss. And it's a good card. I occasionally side it in, but some normally don't, so you could probably take that out. 2, DD Crow. A lot of decks are using their graveyard, so it's good. Good hand trap. Dimensional Fisher, and Macro. Since your deck doesn't truly rely on your graveyard, you can side these in and out, which I like. It's great. It slows you down sort of, but not as much as it would other decks, which I like. And then 2 overworked because of Quillforts and Fire Fist. And then again, Spell Shattering Arrow for Quillforts. 2 Ghost Trick Jack Frost, in case I'm playing like another OTK deck. I would side this in because I can just drop it, stop the attack, gets face down, their cards are face down. And it's a good card. It also helps against Noble Knights because it doesn't target, so if they attack, just drop it, and they lose all their equip spells, so next turn you just get over their monster. I actually really like this card in my side deck. 2 DNA surgeries for the Bujin, Fire Fist, Spellbook matchup. And that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I just really like this deck. But, oh, wait, the combos. I almost forgot about the combos. Okay, so I will need Birdman. I told you I would do the Augur and the Birdman plus what? Birdman? No. It was oh yeah, it was Armor and Specialist. Birdman's gonna be for both. Okay, so here's what you do. Oh, and then I'll just grab one random level 4. Alright, and then I'll grab an Arsenal for the Augur. Okay, so first I'm going to show you the Augur. So, it's a good first turn opening. You go Augur. You grab your Accelerator. Overlay with it. Oh, wait. Almost forgot. And it's also good to have an Accelerator in your hand, but if you don't, you can always just add it next turn. But here's how it goes. So you overlay into Giganex, detach, add the Birdman to your hand. Then, if you do have Accelerator in your hand, great. But if you don't, next turn, detach, get Accelerator, okay? So these cards must be in your hand for this combo to work well. This has to stay, though, okay? So what you do, normal summon, can be any, really any, Gearia. I just grab this, and then you special summon, bounce back, reveal Birdman, summon this back, sync, and you go off from there. It's great. 2-turn OTK. Next is the Specialist. Okay, so I have Armor, right? Armor has to remain as well. I have Armor and Birdman in your hand, okay? Birdman must be in your hand and you have an Armor. Alright, so your turn. Or your opponent's turn, so long as Armor gets flipped. Armor gets flipped. You have an Accelerator. Summon Accelerator. Bounce Accelerator back. Summon Birdman. Birdman effect. Summon Accelerator. Or, not Birdman effect. Accelerator effect. Summon Accelerator. Arsenal effect. Or Armor effect. Set Armor. Sync. For this guy right here. The level 7 Karakuri Beret. Beret effect. Summon Specialist. Specialist effect. Flip summon Armor. Change Armor to attack. Armor's effect goes off. Get another Accelerator. Summon Accelerator, and you go off into another one from there. It's just great. Those are 2 very common combos I go with, and they're very enjoyable. And I hope you like the deck profile, guys. I'm out. Peace!